Welcome to the D-Day Story Museum in Portsmouth. One of the most notable vehicles in the collection here is the DUKW, or as it's usually known, a DUK, an amphibious truck widely used through the invasion of Normandy and later on. Now, the name DUKW comes from its military designation. D means it was designed in 1942, U stands for utility, K, it's an all-wheel drive, and W, there are two different versions I've heard of this. One, just because it's amphibious, but also because it's two-axled, both driven at the rear. Now, it was developed by General Motors to try and get supplies and troops from offshore directly onto the beaches, bypassing the need for ports, which, if you can imagine, in the Pacific was probably going to be a big priority, but continued to be a big priority in Normandy. Now, originally, it was rejected for service, right up until, coincidentally, a trials vehicle rescued a Coast Guard patrol boat which had beached. As soon as that happened, it was decided actually it could be quite useful. It combined a six-wheel drive truck chassis with a watertight hull, letting it operate on board, and there is a propeller at the rear. Now, it could carry 2,500 pounds of cargo, or 25 soldiers, capable of travelling at 50 miles an hour on land and 5.5 knots in water. And during the war, a total of 21,147 ducks were manufactured. Now, they were used primarily by the US Army, but also by the British and Canadians, and the Australians as well, which is often forgotten about. On D-Day, more than 2,000 were used to get things ashore onto Normandy, and with the lack of capture of a port up until Antwerp, they were used continually after that. They were also used during the Battle of Arnhem, where two tried to get ammunition across to the 1st Airborne Division, but failed due to the state of the banks. After the war, they continued to see service in a number of military operations and civilian roles, and are often used for tourism. Some of them were given new hulls because anything that's going to go into water has got the tendency to get rust damage, basically. They actually continued in British service until 2012 with the Royal Marines. Quite an interesting little vehicle. And it was worth noting the Russians, post-war, having had some on Lend-Lease, actually decided to build their own copy. So I hope you found that useful, and we'll probably have some more videos in this museum.